of a beautiful Sunday morning. The sun is saying, can you come out to play? Hey, hey. Should have saw it coming, should have caught the warning. But I took a taste like candy rain.
It's Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, everybody. Hope the Easter Bunny came and brought you a basket and you're going to bring me some chocolate. And I just wanted to tell everybody who's eating Easter dinner or you made a dinner that I take plates. And you can go to my Facebook page, Wanda B, and you can inbox me and give me your address, and I'll come by and pick up my plates. I'll even stay a while. I'll bring something. I don't know. No, I'm not gonna bring anything. I'm gonna bring my Tupperware, but I'll bring my hunger. So please, please invite me. I accept food. And as always, you know, I have people that are so good to me and sponsor this show, advertise with this show, and we have some great events coming up. And Bab Savage, you heard her music when we first came on, her song Hot Apple Pie. She will be here next week. Is her Steppers tour, and she's going to be here all week, the 23rd through the 29th. She's going to grace our stage here. She'll be here with us on the 23rd and say hello. And I want you to come to her event. Her event is the 29th at Gloria's Garden. Her stepping tour, she'll be singing live. She has a band. DJ E.T. Taylor will be there playing music. So not only steppers music, we'll be playing all different kind of music. But we love to have you out. We're going to be out stepping at Gloria's Garden, 15430 Broadway in Harvey. If you need a ticket, contact me, Wanda B. I'll get you a ticket. We'd love to have you out for the Steppers Tour. And then we're going to do what we do here every week. We do this we're going to do it Wednesday. We do this on Sundays at 2 o'clock on IntellectualRadio.com. But we're going to bring this to Country Club Hills, room 183. 4167 183rd Street. It's going to start at 7 p.m. We're going to play some games. I'm going to bring my Mad Uno game. Jenga. We get down with some Jenga.
Colored Jenga. It's more complicated than regular Jenga.
Yes, colored Jenga. No, that's not like anything racial. It's colored Jenga. Color-coded Jenga. Yes, we're going to keep this right. We're going to do that next Wednesday, April 19th. We'd love to have you out 4167 183rd Street in Country Club Hills. That's free. You don't even need a ticket. Just show up. We're going to talk about, what are we talking about that day? Some wonderful topics. Children, dating and children, dating with children. We talked about that here a few weeks ago, and everybody said we should continue the conversation because we didn't bring up so much stuff. People had all different instances and things they wanted to talk about with dating with children, so we're going to bring that back this Wednesday, April 19th. And I'm wearing my cream caramel from MorteCosmetics.com. Wow, I have so many different colors because I love, you all know, y'all listen to the show. I wore runway red for weeks. I love that. That's my staple color, but now I'm trying something different. So go to Morte Cosmetics, MAURTE Cosmetics.com and order some lipsticks. I saw they had a sale today on pink. It was $7. Pretty pink for Easter and it had a sale, 25% off. So go there and order your lipsticks. And we're going to get to our topic. So here at He Said, She Said, we like to talk about topics to we really want to work on healing the relationships between Black men and women and come up with dialogue. How do we talk about the topics that concern us when we're out, when we're dating, when we're in any relationship? We want to heal those relationships. So I like to bring the different perspectives from the he side and from the she side. So this week, here with me is my regular. He's here every week. The right-hand man on my left side, though. My right-hand man in Yachty representing the he.
Absolutely. Happy Sunday and happy Easter, everybody.
And then someone new, a new face. We have Tiffany, a.k.a. Anna Nicole Lacey, if you see her on Facebook. And she is helping me represent the she.
Hey now.
And then, we have our whole crew that's normally here. Nemia, Valencia. Valencia is on our way to China. Woo.
Jet setter.
And KP, who come here regularly. So today we're bringing you a new face, Easter Sunday. So this topic today on IntellectualRadio.com happens to be a topic that came up actually from a discussion that Inyatu and Tiffany had on Facebook that I found so interesting because they were going back and forth with their banter about this, and everybody was chiming in, and I said, okay, that's an interesting theory, an interesting topic, and I loved how it went. So how we rolled out the question is, do good girls and guys finish last? So they were all over the place with this. I mean, they really had my mind going, and here at Intellectual Radio, we like to feed your brain. So I said, you know what, you guys bring this topic here and let's talk about this topic. So finishing last, I mean, what does that concept even mean when they say that good guys and girls finish last?
Well, I think that what they mean is that, you know, even though they put all their effort into being the good man or woman in the relationship, that person didn't end up choosing them. And so, you know, I think it happens sometimes. I think there are many men and women who have been frustrated by situations like that, where they felt like a person went off to choose somebody who wasn't as good to them and or as good for them, and shunned the person who was to them. And that may be true in some cases. I also think in some cases, a person can be a good person and still not necessarily be the person for you. But that's just my perspective.
So why then would someone say you're good, so I don't want you though? How does that come up? How does that concept come up that you're good, so I don't want you?
I believe there was a movie before, and even though I don't watch a lot of reality TV, I do remember seeing a clip of Pepper from Salt and Pepper saying that when she was young, she just liked the good dude who wanted to get married, the doctor who's like, I love you, I don't want to do nothing but serve you. She was like, I couldn't do it. But Tretch, who's like hitting on the head, couldn't get enough of him. And and so, you know, I believe that of course she doesn't speak for every woman, but she spoke for a segment of women who, you know, that's how they feel.
If I could quote Tiffany, I think somewhere on that post you had put that men like a challenge. And I wonder if women like that challenge too. Is that the thing, that men and women like challenges? And so that's the start of it?
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody feels like they're special. Like you want to be the special one that made him change and straighten up. You ain't no different than his other 5 baby mamas, boo. He love them too.
I'm the last one.
Right, you know, like you ain't special. You just the same old regular as everybody else. But everybody wants to be special and feel like they've converted somebody, or their impact was so important that they changed something about a person and made them better in a way.
The start of that post was, if you're interested in a man, act interested in him. So I guess sometimes men feel like women play hard to get and have this chase. Do good girls do more of the chase me, make you come out with the challenge than bad girls do? Is that why they're chosen last, because they're making you chase harder?
Yeah, well, I'm speaking too much.
Go ahead. I'll cut you off when I'm ready.
Okay. She said, "Yeah, she don't know how to admit when I'm right. That's the only problem here. She don't know how to admit when she's wrong." But I think that I lost my train of thought. What was
pre-marriage.
I was saying, do you think they say the good girls, good guys finish last? Right. Does some of that concept come them finishing last because they're making men and women chase them, put more effort into getting them?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of women would say, and a lot of men would say that the bad girl is going to have sex sooner and is not a prude or not worried about time frames and things of that nature, whereas the good girl is looking for it to go a different way, because she's looking for a different result, which, you know, I respect both sides of that fence.
Wait. So are you saying the bad girl, her result is she doesn't want marriage, want the husband, she wants something different?
Well, I can't speak for her individually, but apparently she's not hung up on the same exact things that the good girl is hung up on for whatever reason.
What if the bad girl wants the same thing but doesn't think she has to take the same route to get there?
I agree with that totally. Actually, I see a lot of quote unquote bad girls I married in 2017.
We were just talking about that before the show. Now, I don't always like for them to talk about things before the show because they get all into that topic, then get on here and then don't say anything about it. But that's part of what we kind of talked about a little bit earlier before the show, is that a lot of bad girls are making it to the altar. You named a few. Which one? All of them. Who named some?
Sierra, Megan Good, Janet Jackson,
Kim Kardashian. Had a few trips.
Amber Rose. Her head has been married a few times.
Yeah. Right.
So, that's why I don't subscribe to this one formula thing, and I think that's where a lot of people get frustrated. They tell themselves if they go to church, if they pay their tithes, if they do the right thing, then it's all going to work out. But the rain falls on the just and unjust alike, that God is going to send us through some changes no matter how we approach life. And that formula is not going to necessarily work for everybody.
Something I looked up, it said the Harvard Business Review said good guys and girls don't get what they want because a lot of times they don't ask for it. They're not demanding. They're not demanding. They don't ask for what they want.
Right. Good
girls and guys tend to. What do you think, Tiffany?
No, I think that's true. I think guys like kind of bitchy women. Like, in order for you to be, can I say that? In order for you to be,
yes.
In order for him to be interested, I think that's why the bad girls win, because they're more demanding. They want it. They want it now. You're going to take me somewhere. You're going to take me shopping. You're going to do all of that stuff. The good girl is like, I'm going to cook you dinner. Come on over and we're going to watch TV.
They beat around the bush to what they want. Or they're like you said, they're not aggressive. They don't ask for what they want. And then they act in hurt or not, I don't know if that's a good word for it, or victimized by the concept that they didn't ask for what they wanted. She got what she wanted by being aggressive and feel like that was wrong of you to choose her over me when I was doing everything the right, quote unquote, right
Bad girls
way.
Don't ask. I demand things. If I'm going somewhere and I'm interested in you and I'm engaged in you in that way, then I'm going to demand certain things. I'm not going to ask you anything. It's not your choice at that point.
You sound like you have a lot of experience with this bad girl thing.
I mean, it depends
That's
on
where the Anna Nicole comes from, right? The AK, you got to have an alter ego in this world.
Yeah, in the atmosphere. I want an 80-year-old husband too.
You want an 80-year-old husband? Bad girl.
I think bad men and bad girls, it's like a fun, wild weekend in Miami. You go to Miami, it's hot, it's different, it's bikinis, it's fun, the clubs. And so that's exciting for a weekend or a week. But if you have to live there for 2 months or a year, it's not going to be like that every day. And so a lot of times people get pulled into temporary excitement. I think there's that movie that talked about the 80-20 rule. And then they start to realize that this excitement is great, but I need a foundation. I need some stability. There's some other things that I need that excitement doesn't bring to the table.
So you're saying that people get tired of the bad girl, bad guy person after a while? They go after what's aggressive or who's fun in the beginning, but can that withstand a relationship?
Earl said he marrying the good girl, and the bad girl is going to be the side. It would be the side. Would be the side. I think
that's part of the problem, though. That if you don't really like a good girl to be monogamous or stay with a good girl, why do that when you know you really like the fun?
Caught up in what society thinks, caught up in what we think we're supposed to do. Some people are building relationships and marriages to raise a family, and so they're doing, in that scenario, they're choosing the woman that would be best that they think would be best for raising a family, and then best for like having fun or being single or before you have kids, maybe.
Men are confused creatures. They don't know what they like.
Sometimes.
So I'm going to go back to some of the bad girls that you mentioned who have found the guy, made it to the altar. They're having families and raising kids. Almost every one of them that you mentioned has a child, with that family. I don't know if they're good mothers. I'm not going to test any of that. Right. But we don't know about the good ones being good mothers either. But at the same time, they can still have families.
Absolutely. That's why I don't subscribe to those titles, but I know that, the rest of the world does. And so that makes them somewhat of a reality. But I always say that I believe that bad girls, there's an allure that men are allured to sexually liberated or sexually free women. And especially in the celebrity world, a lot of these athletes and even new celebrities are fans of people. And so they, don't care about that they're fanatic. They were liking this person before, and they don't care about what happened before. They feel privileged to be able to even date somebody who's dated another big star or things of that nature. I mean, you know, any guy who dates Beyonce, I guess right now that would be just a huge ego boost, right? I'm dating
Jay-Z's ex.
Exactly, type of thing, or, you know, as successful as she is. And so I think a lot of, you know, in those situations, that's how that's going, because it just amazes me to see that these guys will go right behind the other celebrity or the other athlete that was married to these women and marry them.
You know what? I haven't checked in, but I'm going to go to Facebook. I'm sorry, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching on Facebook, we're going to definitely try to always include you guys into our conversations. So, and Yatu may be there before me. So if you are and see anything
Tucson is
interesting
going
to say-
in hard. First of all, he said y'all got
don't
Tiff live on air. He said, oh, y'all cold.
What's up, Tucson?
He said bad boys represent the idea of alpha males. True. It's that untamed energy that's the life force of sexuality. Truth is, y'all don't want it tamed, but society says it's too reckless, and y'all fearful of that power. That's a very powerful statement. He also went on to say sexual energy is a life force. To dull that light is to make yourself and your energy less attractive. And I agree in that too. I think that if you don't use it, you lose it. I see myself as, my name means spirit of a tiger. I see myself as a wild king of the jungle type of person running around. And sometimes I look at how people view traditional relationship as marriage as putting me in the zoo. And the animals in the zoo aren't as lively, once they've been in the zoo for some years, they waiting for their dinner instead of hunting for their dinner. And so I definitely don't want to lose my edge. I don't know that marriage has to make me lose my edge, but that's definitely a concern of mine. So Tucson makes a good point, because I believe there are other men who have that same concern.
Well, Tucson also said, how are we defining bad? Personally, I prefer a stallion over a mule. I want my children looking up to a stallion, not a donkey. And I think it was some song I was listening to the other day, played in my car. I think Tony. And they said something about to your ego, like you date to your ego, and do you think some people have to choose the good girl instead of the bad girl because their own ego can't handle the bad girl with what they don't trust her because of their own feelings about themselves? They don't feel confident enough to have the stallion.
Yeah, I think it takes a special type of guy to deal with the stallion, and a lot of people think they can handle it, and they can't handle it.
The reason they can't handle it is because of them, not because of the other person.
It's because of them. No, it's because of them. They knew what it was going into it, and they thought they could handle it, but really somewhere in the back of their mind, they want to be the one that changes that person, I believe. A lot of times, you know, they want that person to act differently for them, and then that's what makes them feel like they're more special than anybody else before.
Right. They want to tame them.
Well, what about the ones
wild ones? Don't let them tame you. That's my favorite quote.
Terry Connor said, we get fooled by what we think we see. All bad girls don't. Oh, what is this that's blocking this? I'm going to finish it. Give me a second. My computer. Don't put themselves on display for the world to see. And I do think there was this thing in my age, way back when. I'm not that old, though. But that you were the lady in the streets
and freaking
and something in the sheets.
Right.
So I think that there is something to be said, and I still kind of believe a little bit in that concept that you have the bad girl on the inside, and kind of, now is that living a lie though? If you like put your good girl on the front and then keep the bad girl inside?
Clearly there's levels of good girl and bad girl, right? And so you know, there's something rebellious about a bad girl. She doesn't feel required to conform to what people think she or he should be, or what society think they should be. And I think that that's the appeal. There's somebody who's willing to go against the grain, not to betray who they really are. And you, again, if you don't have children, you know, that might be something you're better off living with. Some people can live with it with having children, but I think a lot of people, what makes it taboo for them, or what makes them afraid to really choose that person, is because of the family image and want to raise kids, and what exactly are they looking up to?
Right. I mean, I think there's duality in everybody. So you can't, he says I have an alter ego, but I'm normally a good girl. You know, I'm a good girl in theory, but you know, in theory, I'm a good girl. But I think some people find me to be aggressive or opinionated or hard to deal with because I don't have to take your stuff, so I do what I want to do. But I think that bad part comes when you are in that cycle of, I've been a good girl that finished last. I ain't doing that no more. So
are some bad girls created from trying to be the quote unquote good girl and then seeing that they're finishing last and going another way?
Right, absolutely. That's where.
So they're not really good, or they're not really.
There's a duality in everybody. So I think you just exude more of the bad part of you when you think the good part of you didn't work.
They've been listening to Rihanna. Did they tell you that I was a savage? I mean, come on now.
Yes.
Do you think, though, that society, some people are so guarded about what other people think about them, what their religion says about them, that they will never let that part? There may be duality, but we will absolutely
cover it up. Absolutely.
We'll never let someone
most people
see
feel that way.
Right.
I mean, some people are fearful of believing anything else or going against what religion dictates to them, or what society dictates to them, or what their family members dictate to them, and so they live a lie, unfortunately.
Toussaint said they want them tamed because society promotes the concept of beta people. A beta is easy to control. If I'm walking in God's light, how the hell am I going to let a man's idea control me?
Preach.
Toussaint going hard. Right. Man. We need you on the show, brother. We need you to come on down
sitting here
and jump right in on the show. But that's real. That's certainly, what I believe. People think that I don't want to settle down. I want somebody to settle down with me. I want somebody who will run wild with me. When I imagine a marriage, or I imagine me being in a relationship, I don't want us to both be toning it down and trying to be less. I think we should be trying to be more. If I have an attractive woman who can dress and who is the life of the party, I'm going to make her wear a trench coat and go and not talk to anybody in the party. No, go do your thing, and I'm going to watch you be graceful, and everybody smile at you and look at you and stare at you, and we're going to turn that into some different type of energy later that night.
But does that come from a confident man? To be able to do that, do you have to do that from a place of your own confidence?
Yeah, you definitely have to be confident. I can't speak for other people. Unfortunately, I'm a Cancer male. So even though I'm confident, I have moments of moods of jealousy, right? But ultimately, I'm not going to tell you anything to wear. I'm not going to tell you anything not to do in a public setting, or whatever the case may be. I'm just going to talk stuff later about it.
Back to something Toussaint said, and if we could lose the language of calling being aggressive bad. When did this come up that if you ask for what you want, that's bad? That if you know what you want and say that's what I want, then that's a bad thing? Where did that come from?
It goes against
religion,
the status quo. Yeah,
religion.
Exactly. It goes against what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be, especially as a woman, you're supposed to be dainty and delicate and submissive to, any man that walks past you on the sidewalk.
What we tell you to do.
Because you're you're a woman. You're supposed to be in your place. So for you to be aggressive is always, I think, frowned upon, and it makes that man feel a certain kind of way. In my experience, if my partner is from a really religious background, his family is very religious, that's going to have a big impact on how me and him engage with each other. Because they're judging me, and they're judging him for allowing me to be me. So we're not going to be able to survive that.
I say well-behaved women never made history. That's one of my favorite quotes. Like, if you're just being a robot and out here just, trying to fit in, how is anything new, exciting, or great, or even meaningful going to occur?
But if people feel like those are the ones that are getting married, or like Mr. Super Producer said, he wants to marry the good girl. If that's the concept, there will always be women who feel like they have to fit that mold, right?
Yeah, but you don't have to subscribe to what society says. You're not a drop in the ocean. You're the ocean in a drop. So you have to be confident in who you are. You have to know that there's somebody who likes everything, and so there's somebody for everybody. That you may get some slack on this side of the world around this certain group of people for being who you are, but if you are confident about it, you will bump into some like minds, and you will find that there are a lot of people who view things differently and not trying to fit in to what society says, and then somebody will love you for you. I believe that. I don't care what type of person you are. I believe there's somebody that's a match for you that will love you for who you truly are, and you have to just be unafraid to be that.
So we are talking about, do good girls and guys finish last, here on IntellectualRadio.com, and we have our dear friends on Facebook chiming in, and I have with me Inyatu, who is my resident the sidekick who's always here every week, holding down for all the guys and saying what the guys want to say on here and come back with it. And then I have Tiffany filling in. If you know her on Facebook, is Anna Nicole Lacey. Tiffany is here, and she is the reason why we kind of came up with this topic today, because of such a interesting conversation they had on Facebook that started off with, if you're interested in a man, act interested in him. Because of this chase thing, a lot of women they are interested and they act like they're not interested, because I'm gonna play coy and make him chase me, and I'm not gonna act like I like him, because then and it was a dialogue that came up between the two over that conversation, and men liking challenges. Do women like challenges too, or what do you think, Tiffany?
I think to a certain extent. Like at this point in my life, I don't really want a challenge. I want a man with a 401k and come home with common sense. Like I don't need a challenge now. But I think women and men both like challenges. Like they like that.
I can remember a few posts on the he said she said page where a lot of guys were saying that women don't like good guys, that they're gonna choose the bad guy. I think the one guy, he said the shinier. He said the woman's gonna pick the shinier choice. And I think that, you know, some men look at a woman like you, Wanda, or a woman like Tiffany, attractive women, and say, well, if I'm good, if I'm, you know, what she wants me to be, she should choose me. And I think that's a misconception. I think that's a mistake. I don't think that woman is looking at you and saying, oh, you too good, I don't want you because you're good. I think you're not a fit for them. And so I think they're doing you a favor and allowing you to go be good for somebody who is a good fit for you, as opposed to leading you on and allowing you to be good to them. And, you know, they know that's not really their flavor. But I doubt very seriously that that they're turning you down, or that it's just because they don't want a good guy.
I think I'm so I cringe now at the term real man, real woman. I'm looking for a real man, real woman, good girl, bad guy, good guy. Everybody's good. Just because I don't like doesn't make anyone good, bad. That they're not for me, and if they do things I don't like, doesn't make them bad, because they don't do things I like.
Right.
So, like you said, someone else will love them. So right. Why are they bad? Why are they labeled bad or not a real man? Because they don't do because he doesn't pay for everything when he first meets you, and now he's not a real man. Okay, there'll be women who'll pay for his everything, and that's it. And that's a real man. We now expect other people to have the same expectations we have to some degree sometimes. Well, Linda said, you can act interested in a man and some of them perceive you as being thirsty. Do you guys consider us being thirsty if we act interested?
I have heard that.
Don't lie.
I have heard that. I have heard that. And women keep telling me don't lie when I say that's not how I see it. They say because I said something to you, but it had nothing to do with whether or not you said anything to me, or it had to do with whether or not we were a good fit. It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not you're aggressive. But I did talk to some fellas who said, that they feel like a woman is thirsty if they go too far as far as showing interest in them. And I've had a lot of women say that that's been their experience out here. That when they play hard to get, men is tripping over themselves trying to get to them. And when they show some interest, that dude, that's the term for social media. They ghost, they shelf you.
What does that mean, Tiffany?
Shelf me. That means that you think I'm too readily available, so you think I'll be here. So you put me on a shelf while you go do whatever else you're doing. Men are hunters. You don't chase a steak once it's on your plate. So you have to keep it interesting. You got to not be so available until he's made that commitment.
You're saying women shouldn't be as available. So is that a game? Some people would say I don't want to play that game. I swear I don't. Well, how does that it kind of sounds like that's part of the game.
It's the truth. You just can't be that available. Like you can't be. I think women are, we do this sometimes in our head. Like we are in a husband. We on date too. Like you can't treat that man like he's your husband. He's not. So you still date and keep your distance and let him come to you. You the prize.
Oh, goodness. That's a whole nother show. But now I want to talk about that, because the good girl versus bad girl concepts and you being the prize, and boy, do I hear men complain about women feeling like they are the prize and making them chase too much. I hear that on the show often, that men say that we are really creating we're the prize, so we have to do all the chasing to get you. That, I think, is a common thing I hear from men. And y'all too?
Absolutely. And it's just overcompensating. That when you
Tiffany, you're gonna talk on this.
In my face.
It's just overcompensation.
You're the prize. I want to hear about that.
Yeah, so you are a prize. You're not the only prize in the situation. But of course, if a person feels devalued, the next thing they're gonna do is want to demand that the next person recognize their value. And the person who's at the table right now is not who made you feel devalued. So you don't have to go through all that per se, but I understand why, because if the last person devalued you, you're going to say, hey, that's not going to happen again. And so that's the approach that I think most people are out here. That's how they're approaching relationships. Is their whole mindset is whatever bad that happened before, I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen again. And their mindset going into it is to protect themselves from letting the things that happened in the past happen again. So women are like, I want to be courted because I let this dude get in without courting me, but this new guy has nothing to do with that situation, but he's having to, suffer the consequences or deal with it because that's what he came behind.
Tiffany, what does being the prize, if you're the prize and someone's dating you, is there equality? Does the guy get anything out of this dating thing, or is he sitting just chasing?
Sit next to pretty Tiffany.
You better tell
the prize.
All right, hey, I'm here.
You get to claim on social media. You get to take a picture of Ussie and be like, we together. That's what you get out of it.
I mean, there's, it has to be a mutual thing. But I think in the beginning, when you're being courted, you are supposed to be the prize. He's supposed to, for me, I'm old school in that way. You're courting me. I'm not going to court you. That ain't that's not going to work in my life.
So the man getting the woman is
if you get me, you are getting a prize, because I'm going to hold you down from beginning to the end.
How does he know that if he's been chasing you the whole time? How does he know what he gets on the other side?
I didn't say chase, I said courting. Them two different things.
What's the difference?
To court me, I'm not responsive to you. Now, I'm not suggesting anybody be stupid. If somebody's not interested, move on along. But if you're courting me, that means we're engaged. I'm engaging you in the same conversations. I'm just not going to be at your house making you breakfast because it's Tuesday morning. I ain't gonna do all of that for you. No.
I need some French toast around here.
If it's a equal relationship and you're trying to build an equal relationship, why does
we're not in a relationship yet?
You're not in a relationship. During this courting phase, and you being the prize, when at the end the guy, how does he take you to the next level if all he sees is me coming? You mentioned reciprocating. What does that look like?
I mean, we can go out. We're gonna go out. I'm gonna treat you out. I'm gonna treat you the same way. If I'm interested in you, I'm interested in you. I'm just not going to be at your door doing your laundry and pretending I'm your wife. I'm not. So we can have a mutual understanding, and you engage me, I'm going to be engaged. I'm just not going to be all over you, fawning all over you like you're the only man on the planet. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Everybody replaceable.
So I guess I can understand that. I don't know if I see the prize. Then the prize isn't as you. It sounds like sometimes if you're going after a prize, you're going after it wholeheartedly, and they're the end result. Like playing the lottery. If I play the lottery, I'm investing a whole lot of money so I can try to win. That is a lot of going out and no receiving back.
No, yeah.
Some receive. They're getting some back.
Yeah, it's got to be reciprocal.
Okay, well, she said that, but I believe that there's a movement of some women who feel really entitled right now, and looking good is pretty much all that they feel like they have to do until the man has totally proven himself, and that's superficial. That would be superficial on the man's part to just court you just based on looks. I don't see how that's a formula for a successful relationship or a successful marriage. Tucson jumped in and said, we're making this female idea, but it's not. It's a people idea, men and women. The people that follow the rules get elevated. They get promotions at work. They get society's trinkets, cars, homes, etc. to compensate for what they lack in spirit. So we all love an idea. The real value in life is journey, though. We in love with things, not people. Hence, money is the #1 reason for divorce. Powerful.
Terry Connor said, I'm the prize, but I want the man I'm dating to be the prize also. And I guess that's kind of the concept I was getting, that should we maybe in the courting phase have it that I'm the prize as if he isn't, that he isn't a prize for you as well. So how does that come across then for the man to feel that as well? She said, if you show you're interested, I'll reciprocate, which is the same thing Tiffany said. Yeah. Let's build and grow together. Courting does not negate my participation. And I guess that's what I was trying to get clear. But I do think it's different for some women. I don't think they all agree with you. They do feel like it's kind of, I've seen some women who do say they're the prize, but they're not showing what you're going to get when I win the prize. I mean, I think at some point you got to say, what does the prize include? A little bit.
Right. I mean, but I think if you are engaged, it depends on the kind of relationship you want to establish. For me, if we are going to do this and we're going to build, you don't have a better partner. It ain't a better woman on the planet for you than me to help you build.
You're saying that. How do they know that? How do you show that?
This is this conversation. This is in my actions. He should be he should be observing me the same way I'm observing him.
So we don't keep some of these actions. Yeah, let's hear the actions. Because that's where the conversation always goes left. I've met a lot of women who say that they will reciprocate and all of that, or talk about what good men are like. And so I asked them, what does in a dating phase? I've taken you out on 5 dates to fancy dinners. I've bought flowers one time. I've been nothing but respectful. I text you to let you know I'm thinking about you every day. We have good conversations. What should I expect to come back? And not like a gift but what type of?
I mean, I'm a romantic at heart, so I'm not above sending a man flowers or edible arrangement, or sending him lunch to work, taking him out to dinner, buying him watches, whatever. I'm not opposed to those kind of things.
I'm a watch collector.
I'm not opposed to those kind of things. I think you reciprocate. Okay. If we're building that, but in the early phase, if you're just interested in me, you have to prove your worth. Just like I should be proving something to you. You should be assessing me the same way I'm assessing you. So I don't have a problem.
Yeah, maybe I got it messed up. I feel too pricey.
Randall Griffin says, so when is the man supposed to be a prize? We want to be honored as a great catch too.
That's right, Randall. We are the prize. What are they talking about? No, I'm just kidding. But I feel the same way that Tiffany does. If a woman gets me on her side, if I'm behind you 100%, you have won in life, in my humble opinion, because I go hard. And so, and that's a common problem, and I don't think it's just an individual thing. I think that we know, you get to a certain age, you know what type of person you are in a relationship, and you know what you've done in the past. The person you're meeting does not know that yet. And so a lot of times we want it to go fast. We don't feel like we should have to prove again that we're a good person or a good mate to this new person because we proved it to the old person. And I think that gets us in trouble. I think that can get you in trouble in relationships, but I think it's natural. I think everybody's susceptible to it because I love hard. When I find a good person, I'm not going to cheat. I'm willing to work at it. I'm not going anywhere. And so you want a person to recognize that as soon as possible and treat you as such because that's who you are. But that's somewhat of an unrealistic expectation for a person who just met you, for them to know all that about you.
I think one thing Tiffany said and one thing Terry Connor said that I do agree with, and what I think men need as well, if we both come in feeling like we're the prize, let's just be natural. Let's be ourselves. We don't necessarily have to prove that I'm the prize. You don't have to prove to me I'm the prize. Like you said, I'll naturally see you're the prize because you behave like a prize.
Exactly.
And you look like a prize. You act like a prize. And I think part of being a prize is you just feeling it, not like you don't need me to make you feel like a prize.
Exactly.
You got to come being the prize.
You got to be a whole person.
You just said a mouthful right there that any guy who has a budget can pay for a fancy dinner. Any guy who has the amount of money that it costs to buy some flowers can buy some flowers. That doesn't make a person special. And I think, so I date first before I court. I date to try to give a person the opportunity to get to know me and me the opportunity to get to know them without all the fluff. Because if right from the gate I'm flowers, I'm fancy dinners, I'm pouring it on really thick, then that becomes the focus, and getting to know me falls into the background. And then as I believe joined in, said on the show one day, if you take me to Mastro's the first date, you better
We
not
go
never
together.
try to take me to Joe's or
that's
Red
true.
Lobster. She like, you set the bar, you better stay up there at that bar. And so a lot of people, that's what they're in their relationship for, is the guys jumping through these hoops. I've seen it where a woman who had a guy who had a crush on her for years and years and years. I've seen this happen multiple times, and he wasn't the guy she wanted. But after she dealt with some of the guys that she thought she wanted, and they didn't treat her the way she thought, they give this guy a chance, and he's willing to jump through all the hoops. He's willing to do all the cliche things of being a good guy and all the things she can brag about on Facebook. And these women are with these guys, even though that's not the guy that they really want to be with, but they feel like he's at least valuing her.
So, but value is because you take me to a nice restaurant to keep proving the value. You have to keep taking me to nice restaurants.
Well, no, sometimes it's trips, bear gang, shopping.
That's because y'all
Up your game.
You're right. That's the issue with you discerning what kind of woman that is that
Not
you're
me.
courting.
Them
In general. Okay. Not even y'all two.
Explain that,
in
Tiffany.
general, because if you are picking a prize, whatever that means to you, then that woman gonna be with you whether y'all eat Subway on the park.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's money is irrelevant. I know a lot of really rich men who are super annoying. Like, wouldn't give them the time of day. But I know a brother that I was split a sandwich with him in the park and be
And
the
to give you your last
If
sandwich.
you don't split no sandwich with me, I'm gonna be offended. I'm just kidding.
We can
I'm
split a
just
sandwich later.
Tucson said, do people know their relationship goals? If marriage is the goal, marriage is a business. How does his or her prize help us reach that ultimate goal? If you just fine, we better be building a modeling agency.
Marriage is an institution. Marriage is not a business, just a business. Marriage is an institution. So you know, there's African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So it's a difference when you're building with somebody and you have that established partner in life. Y'all putting out money together, y'all building together, you are able to do more things together than you would be apart.
So do you
ideally
think, even though you don't think this way, do you think a lot of women, when they think of courting and they think of being a prize, do think of nice dinners and flowers and things that cost money?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's a lot of dizzy women in the world.
A lot of what you call
Say that
it?
again.
It's a lot of dizzy women in the
Dizzy.
world. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of confused men.
What was
too,
your
but-
question?
My question was, do you think there are a lot of women out here who, when they think about courting or they think about being a prize, they do think about a man buying flowers a lot and taking them to nice dinners and things of that nature?
Right.
Absolutely. I think that is what we've been conditioned to think courting should look like. Courting should be monetary. Courting should be flowers. He buys me this. He bought me this. He got my hair done. He got my nails done. And you never hear anything loving that person did for them.
Right.
What they brag about is he got my hair done and my nails.
Right.
And girl, he bought me this.
Right.
I'm gonna go right over to the Japanese garden and pull up some flowers and give it to a girl and see how that goes out. Because didn't somebody put up a post about a guy using a Groupon on a date, and a lot of women were saying they would get up and leave. And
Ain't nowhere in the world. I love Groupon.
This is a separate subject, but I'm gonna just throw it out there real quick. Courting is a business, and marriage is a business, and I don't mean it's marriage for the two people in it. That marriage is being promoted and courting is being promoted because the money that gets spent with those people. So the diamond industry is investing a lot of money into making sure TV shows and movies are showing these big rocks so that women are putting pressure on men to come up with bigger and bigger diamonds and spend more money on diamonds. If these fancy restaurants have to, in order for them to stay open, they have to have customers in there. So do they want women to feel like this dude don't love them if he's not taking them to their restaurant? Absolutely. And so people need to understand that as well, that we kind of all caught up into it, even myself. But this is a business that we were being trained and taught to want things that we really don't necessarily need and don't really mean anything in the big scope of things as far as love and companionship.
Absolutely. I think men, a lot of good men, what I would consider a good man, they'll shoot themselves in the foot because they feel like they're not ready financially to be in a position to court you. And courting has nothing to do with money. You could be creative. You can go to the park. We have free shows. I'm from St. Louis. We have free theater in the park on certain days a week. Do that. Take her there. Take her that little $10 bottle of wine and y'all go out and do that. It doesn't require a lot of money. It just requires you to be creative and engaged.
Well, I think some of those guys maybe not necessarily the courting part that they're concerned about, but then once they get you, don't they have to be a provider?
If you're my husband, you're not my
Yeah,
husband.
so he got to have his money together to be a provider before he courts you, or he setting himself up for failure. He gonna get you and then not have what it takes to keep you.
No, I think that just depends on the situation.
Okay.
If I think that you are a prize, money has no part in that.
Okay.
You being a prize to me is how can you help build me?
Awesome.
What can you do for me?
Where can we grow together?
Where can we grow together? We
He's
gonna
the
be
one, y'all. Y'all better, hey, check this out. Y'all better get yourselves together and grab you a Tiffany around here. I'm just saying.
because I'm overqualified.
I'm overqualified. Too funny.
Does that happen though? Is that a thing for the good girls? Is that when you speak like that, talk like that, are you, like Wanda said, put on a shelf? She said it's hard to have a prize when you put someone on a shelf. You have to have some kind of connection in order to get to the next phase. That they think, because I know how Tiffany thinks, she's a good girl, I'm gonna put her over here and go see all the bad girls and try to come back to Tiffany because she'll be saying she's gonna remain good. She has a good head on her shoulders, a good this. She's gonna stay a good girl. So I'm about to go have my fun and come back to
Chad, I got a T-shirt about that.
Good old sweet Tiffany sitting on the shelf.
That's funny because that has been promoted in music too. Jay-Z said you don't get a dude back like that. You know, he was saying he heard, so clearly in that song he's saying that it's okay for him to do something, and it's definitely
I don't know the song,
okay.
so explain it real quick what that is.
Once a good girl gone bad, she's bad forever.
Yeah, so in the song he's talking about having basically cheating on a girl, and she eventually cheated on him too, and that wasn't. He's like, you don't get me back like that, like,
anything but that.
Yeah, so he's basically saying that it's different for men and women in that regard. That women can't do that.
So women, the sitting on the shelf part. So if she's sitting on the shelf, he's gone out to do things. He's not expecting her to go out and do and sow her wild oats, and she really has to just sit on the shelf and wait.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what.
Then she's gonna finish last.
Exactly. Hello.
Good. There it is. The truth just came out live on the radio.
Right.
Good girls finish last. I don't think every man has that mentality to try to put a good woman on the shelf, but I could see how that could bleed into the situation. I could see how that could affect things. If you feel like you're absolutely not going anywhere, then why not?
Right. Is that fair?
Life ain't fair.
No,
it's not fair. But life is not fair.
Life is not fair. I know.
We have to have the power of discernment. We are going to try to make it fair.
We are.
We're going to try to make it fair very soon around these parts.
You're listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. We've been talking about, do good guys and girls finish last? I think I may come up with Jay. Yeah, they do. No, I don't know. We're debating that. We're having a good conversation about that. I have Yatu here, who is a co-host here every week here on IntellectualRadio.com. He said, she said, and my friend Tiffany, who's filling in here to help feed your brain today. And she was so nice enough to help us with this topic, because this is a topic that she and Yatu were having on Facebook. And you can join our Facebook group, He Said, She Said. You can like us all on Facebook, Anna Nicole Lacey on Facebook, and then Yatu Marvel. Like our Facebook pages, join our Facebook group, and get in the conversation with us as we talk about, do good guys and girls finish last? So being aggressive, obviously, is something to be said that helps the bad girl. And I'm going to keep using that because that's the phrase we use.
But in that same instance, Tiffany and a few other women who chimed into this debate say that if a woman shows too much interest, a man's not going to be interested. So you would think that bad girl being aggressive, that would be working against her if that coincides with that philosophy of showing interest. Let
me tell you the difference, or why it doesn't, is I don't want to call it a game, but for the sense of there's a yin and a yang. I think a girl who knows how to work it knows when you put it on and when you keep it in the back burner and it's there, but you know that you're not letting it be seen at all times. That
they know how to work it. You know that, right?
That is not. It's not that I don't show it. I know when and where.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right.
Well, I'm a good boy. I'm a saint. I'm innocent.
That's
my story. I'm sticking to it. I prayed over my food at breakfast.
That makes you good.
A guy came in with an Easter outfit with some hot pink suede loafers.
And he's a good guy.
So he brought the church spirit right on into the restaurant, right?
That's how it works. If you just hang around the church, folks, now you are part of church.
Right.
Absolutely. So just be true to yourself. If you're feeling good, work out for you. If you're feeling bad, by all means, call me. No, I'm just kidding. Be bad, enjoy yourself, be good, and be good at it is what I say to people.
That's right. Read Toussaint's comment, please.
In real life, the alpha male and alpha female lives are interesting with or without a partner. The courtship phase is more about matching energies than it is gifts and dates. The alpha energy is attractive just standing next to it.
Amen.
Man,
The
alpha
this is why my
energy-
life is so great, right?
I agree. The alpha energy is the prize. That's the
Right.
thing. I think that is the thing that you walk around with, that I'm the prize. I don't need to show you I'm the prize. I don't need to act it out. I just am.
Right.
And I think it's just a part of being. And then if you meet that person, they don't have to tell you they're the prize. You see it. And I think that's what you kind of were saying, Tiffany. I was about to call you Tiffany, that why it doesn't have to be said, well, I'm the prize, or I'm the prize. We feel that energy of the prize, and we know that's the one.
I tell Tiffany all the time that sex is certainly not the biggest thing a woman has to offer, in my humble opinion. And I told her on the way over here that I believe the right woman is worth 10 good male friends on your team. As far as speaking to the fellas, you got the right woman on your team that can outdo a whole lot of other people being on your team, and vice versa. You got the wrong woman on your team, you sleeping with an enemy. No one can help you, right? You're stuck. Amen. But I believe that energy is the thing. There's a game of chess, to me, is just like life. And a lot of times a woman can do things that a man can't do. And in this world, do a lot of things that a man can't do. And so if you all are working as a team and you're recognizing your different roles and maximizing that, that's the most powerful relationship that you can have. So for people who think that I'm against marriage or against relationships, I crack jokes and I say things, but the truth is I just want to get marriage right. If I'm going to do it, I just want to get the relationship right. If I'm going to do it, I don't subscribe to the cookie cutter way of building a relationship. But ultimately, I believe that the right two people coming together is the most powerful thing in the universe, and that you can make anything happen. We just watched Michelle Obama come together and launch a presidency, become the president, and run the country and the world for 8 years. That's the power
with grace
of the right people coming together. And so we're going to highlight a bunch of other examples of things like that, so people can see that, when you do it right, that relationship and that marriage and bringing those two alpha energies together is the best thing popping.
I think one thing that helps people is working on feeling like they're the prize and working on their own alpha energy. I think some people are not working from that place of power, so it translates into relationships. It comes into their relationships and then is projected as if the other person is the fault that it came out that way. Right. And that's one thing that I wish we could sometimes work on, is like you mentioned, if someone hurt you in the past, bringing that into a present relationship, that's the stuff that needs to be healed and fixed, because you're not really feeling like you're the prize inside. Right. And that's where you're out looking for other people to make you feel like you're the prize. Right. That's when that comes out, is that I need you to make me feel like a prize. So chase me so I can feel that way. But if you honestly were coming from a place of the prize, you don't even really attract people who don't make you feel that way. I must say, I very rarely meet any people that don't come to me that way in the first place. I think you really wind up attracting like-minded, like the law of attraction, like-minded people, like energies. I try very hard to get people who don't agree with me up here, and it's so
They look at them, they evolved, they talk. I can't come on the show. I'm gonna say something ratchet. They don't want to come on the show. I'm gonna say something wild. I'm gonna go in. It's not gonna work out. No, that's what we want. We know this. Everybody's not the same. Everybody is not like us. We want to bring all the perspectives to the table so that we can hash them out, sort them out, and get things moving in the right direction for everybody.
Right. Our time goes by so quickly. Every week I said so much more we want to say. You've been listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. Babs will be here. Babs Savage, my theme song, Hot Apple Pie. She'll be here next week, April 23rd through the 29th, and she's going to dance every day of the week. We're going to be out dancing. We're going to the 50-yard line on Monday. We're going to hit Club 1 on Tuesday. We're going to go over to Universal on Wednesday. We're going to go to Hero Sports Lounge on Thursday. On Friday, we're going to go to the East of the Ryan. And then on Saturday, I want to see y'all at Gloria's Garden. That one's $15. I want you to get your ticket from me and come out and dance with us, because I'm going to get my step on. Hey. And then Wednesday, we're going to do He Said, She Said live. at room 183, 4167, 183rd Street in Country Club Hills. That one's free. We're going to talk. It's from 7 p.m. to midnight. And as always, I want you to come back and meet us here, the same place, the same time. We're here every Sunday, and Yatu and I, and then we fill it in with who likes to come and talk with us. We'll be here next Sunday. He said, she said on IntellectualRadio.com. See you next week.
I'm your ice cream. Let me melt for you. You're the sweetest thing to dip in my fondue. Have a spoon or two. It might sound strange, but I can never seem to call your name. You feel me out.